Allow me to kindly request Mheshimiwa Shebesh says to stand here. Naisula Elachi. Don't worry, they will not talk. I think it will be easier for me if they're standing here. And Governor Ngilo. The family of Dr. Joyce Laboso, Her Excellency, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, Speakers of the National Assembly and the Senate, Cabinet Secretaries present, and my colleagues. This is not a speech on behalf of the governors, this is a speech on behalf of friends, and because we couldn't trust ourselves, we decided to put it down in writing. If I get stuck, someone else will finish it. Standing here today to eulogize our dear sister and friend feels almost surreal. It is hard to come to terms with the reality that a daughter, a sister, a wife, a mother, and a friend who was once so vibrant and vivacious is no longer with us. It is a testament of the fleeting nature of this life, which at best can be described as brief, and a reminder that we ought to live our lives conscious of the fact that there are no guarantees, and putting God first, and doing everything we can for one another when we are still alive. The late Dr. Joyce Cherono Laboso Abonyo was our friend, a colleague, a confidant, a companion, and above all, a true compatriot who loved and served her constituency, county, country with great dedication. We have lost a jewel in the crown of our nation. As friends, we all met Joyce at very different points of our lives, but mostly, for some of us, through the public service. And we remember her initial reluctance to join politics when the time came. But with the support of many others, she went on to thrive and even become the first female deputy speaker. During the 2017 elections, a common calling brought us together. We were all navigating the treacherous path seeking to be elected leaders. For me, her, and Governor Ngilu, we were seeking to be the first women to be elected governors in this country. Like any pioneering achievement, it was very challenging for us as women, jostling through the male-dominated political intricacies and intrigues of nomination and election. In the midst of tremendous pressure, we somehow managed to find great humor whenever we met. We often mused and wondered, what were we thinking when we decided to get into politics? Who sent us here? We were often shocked at the difficulties, especially the insults that sometimes we would wake up to on social media. And we would chat and ask, did you hear what they said about me? Did you hear what they said about my hair? Did you hear what they said about my legs? Did you hear what they said about my shoes? And even some of the very unkind things that people always say to politicians about their families, femininity, and personalities. But it was not always all gloom. We often exchanged jokes and shared our experiences on the campaign trail and enjoyed a good laugh about it. We developed an easy fondness with each other, all of us, as we weighed the heavy issues that came with the high stakes of political office. We were pleased and grateful at the end. Many of us managed to get elected, and those who didn't managed to get an office. Joyce had a very special way to all of us of bringing our focus back to the fact that we had a God-given task to serve his people. She often said that her aim was to make that woman in the village proud of her. She often reminded us that we were honored by the sacred task of the people who voted for us, and we had a duty to live up to the honor of that high calling. She was also always quick to remind us that we are very flawed, especially when we had a problem with our critics. She urged us to be more tolerant to our critics and not take matters to heart. As you know, some of us cannot quite be described as calm and patient. We did our best to heed her advice, even if it did not come very naturally to us. And we would be very okay after Joyce had always talked to us, ladies, be calm, until you open your phone again and there's another insult or another word, and the process would start all over. She was always the calm one amongst us. This gospel she especially preached to my sister, Honorable Shebesh, whose friendship is the kind that is fiercely loyal. Even when Joyce was the aggrieved, she would be the one to call good sense and reason to the actions that some of us were plotting to take. Joyce always reminded us to forgive and let be. As one of the generals in the women's brigade that shaped the second phase of the presidential elections, the late Joyce Laboso was a gentle yet firm voice of reason. She would compel us to calm down when things got very charged. It was in her nature to be steadfast, sober, and calm, a quality that made her an impeccable leader. She always advocated and strived to maintain unity amongst her friends and leaders, and encouraged us always to lead by example. In all honesty, just these couple of weeks that she's been very unwell, I cannot tell you how many times in our WhatsApp group people have left it and been brought back, just because she was always the one who used to calm us. Sometimes we would have very